the Worm Factory 360 Upward Migration Composting Worm Bin System. And those of you out there that know what I'm doing here, you also know that I got major worm creep, but I'm getting over my worm creep, and I realized how important these worms are. I've always known they're important, I just didn't really like them, but I'm getting over it. And I can always wear, you know, I can wear gloves. I can always wear gloves, I have to touch them. But we're setting up this worm factory today. We like this worm compost for our microgreens, and this is what we're using. So we're going to set this up right now. It's very easy to do. Put our worm ladder in, and this worm ladder allows the worms to climb up through here if they somehow slip through these little grid areas. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to take this core, it's made from coconut, and we're going to soak half of this, and then we're going to add some newspaper and we're going to put that in here. Here we go, add some water to this core. As we have moistened the core, the coconut core, okay, we laid our newspaper down. Now we're going to mix this core with a little bit of soil.
Did you already add the soil?
No. Whoops. Actually, it said to squeeze it out.
Hold this for me. The
You
camera?
yes. You squeeze out the core, and I have to do that first. That's going to be too wet. And squeeze out the core. You don't want any excess moisture. With composting, it's an art form. It really is, and I haven't been successful yet. The first composter I tried was Nature's Mill. It was an indoor unit, all automatic electric. I failed miserably with that one. So I'm going outside. I have a compost outside just for the chicken droppings, and mixing the chicken droppings with the pine straw or the pine shavings is amazing. It takes care of any odor. It's a perfect balance for the chicken dew. It really is. It's my understanding that you know you have good compost when there's no smell. So, and how you get that is the right amount of nitrogen and carbon. Carbon is all the brown matter, that's carbon, and the nitrogen would come from your vegetables and your kitchen scraps. So that's the nitrogen, and this is the carbon. So after we put this together, we add some newspaper to it, a little soil, and then we're going to put some vegetables in the corner so the worms have something to eat. And we're not going to put them right on the food, we're going to let them crawl to the food, and once they have acclimated to their new environment, they will go to that food automatically. So that's what we're trying to do here. So now we've got this core. I'm going to get some soil and put that in there as well.
Ooh, soil.
Okay, we're adding some soil to the core, mixing that up.
That's...
I'm going to mix this in. Okay. Now initially you put that newspaper down. You only do that in this first tray. That's just to keep it from falling through. And remember, we have the worm ladder underneath, so if they were to fall through, they would be able to climb back up once they eat their way through that paper. So this looks pretty good. It looks like it's supposed to in the video. Now we are going to put some food in the corner so they have something to eat. I don't have any scraps, so I'm actually going to go to the garden.
Ooh, chicken. 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 Wait, why are we feeding our worms?
Okay, you can see we have lots of produce here. I'm going to just thin out a couple of these lettuce plants. I'm going to put those in the worm composter so they have something to eat. That one looks pretty wimpy. These are really close together, but I wanted them that way because I was trying to keep the weeds out.
Is this a wimpy one?
Yeah, that's okay. Just want something for them to eat, and they eat a lot. You'd be surprised. These worms eat a lot.
Wait, could we feed them to the chickens when we're done with them?
No. These are going to be eating our produce so that we have more compost for our microgreens, which are going to be growing indoors.
That's a lot of food.
Yeah, so they can eat this in a day. We've got like...
Are you serious?
Yeah, for sure. They can go through a lot. You'd be surprised.
That's like a ton of stuff.
All right, so So here we got some greens for them to eat, some nice organic greens, although I regret to say these have been rained on by all of that rain that came down after Fukushima, so we had some serious rainstorms and they soaked all of it up. So unfortunately, we do not have pure crops here. They are organic, but they have some radioactive rainwater on them. Too bad. These scraps on the corner here to give them something to eat. And then we're going to be checking this. The thing with these worm factories is you've got to check them all the time. There's healthy balances you need to achieve, and you got to maintain it, and it's a matter of temperature and the proper amounts of food in here, the carbon and the nitrogen together. It's this whole thing, it's this whole system. Now we're going to add worms.
Yay.
Add worms.
Worms. Are they in the fridge?
Yeah. Okay, we're going to cover this. Before we put the worms in, we need to cover this with some shredded newspaper.
More?
Yeah. More. So.
Where did you get this newspaper?
It came with the kit. They give you everything except the worms.
It's in the food.
And there's an accessory kit that was back ordered, but it came today, so we are putting everything together. We don't really need the accessory kit. The accessory kit consists of a little rake to make sure the worms are doing okay. You have to get in here, and it requires handling, so hence the gloves. I still have worm creep.
I'll hold worms.
Okay, so now we're going to put on 3 or 4 sheets of moist newspaper on top of this.
So they have to eat through their way?
Okay, and it's most cases worms are included. When person would serve we should what we're going to do is we're going to be placing the worms on here. We're going to put a layer of wet newspaper on top of this, and that will keep the worms on top. We want to keep them eating on top. So we'll put the worms on top of here, and then we'll place a wet layer of newspaper on top of that. But initially, they tell you to have this ready to go. As soon as you take those worms out of the package, you have to have this ready. You cannot let the worms sit out and then do this. So keep that in mind.
Use for food and never use fresh cut grass because it gets too hot. Let's see what this is. You know, when the worms are bored, when they don't feel like eating, they have little parties and they use the newspaper. They read it. Like, you know how we sit down, we have dinner parties, we have tea parties, and we read newspaper. They also do it, except we have to give them really interesting ones, preferably nothing against worms. They get really offended.
These are it. We know that worms like moisture.
Yeah, because after it rains, they're all over the place. Wait, could we add worms that we find in here?
No, just they have to be red wiggler worms. Those work best. You can start out with a ½ pound. If you want to really jumpstart this thing, they say to get a pound. So I think we have a pound. It's a pretty heavy bucket that we bought.
But
so 2,000 worms would be out of control. They would, if you're going to be putting that much food in here. Now the thing with composting your food is, the smaller the food is, the easier it is to break down. So you have to check in here occasionally and see how they're doing. And
like every day.
You just got to check it. You have to maintain it. It's something you really got to stay on top of, because you want them happy. You want the worms happy.
See, this is kind of interesting. The 11th annual Run, Walk, and Roll, the principal fundraising event of Friends of the Disabled Adults and Children. Yeah, worms like that. This is gonna be good.
Okay. So now we are ready to add our worms.
Yay!
Oh, I'm creeping out already. Okay.
We love worms. See, they're really into insurance policies and roofing, organizing services, electricians. This is going to be really good for them. Painting services, furniture repair. What?
Here they are.
Oh, it's so cute.
These are
they plastic?
Worms. There's only 200?
Are they made of plastic?
Let's see.
Are they as cute as that?
Yes, they look just like that. When earthworms eat the soil in your garden, they cast back 5 times more nitrogen, 1.5 times more calcium, 3 times more magnesium, 7 times more phosphates, 11 times more potash, and 40% more humus. I'll tell you right now.
Hummus, like the food?
No, humus. It's like fulvic acid.
Oh, lovely.
Calcium, magnesium, and phosphorus are very important for your teeth. So worms help to bring the soil to the right level of nutrients.
Just in case you want to eat your soil.
Just in case you want to eat your soil. No, in case.
Or the worms.
I'm still not touching them. Okay, let's lift this up.
I only touch worms if they're little.
We're gonna sprinkle them
in
here.
If they're fat, then I don't touch them. They're so...
There's only 200. I wonder if there's exactly 200. These aren't even very big.
Oh, they're not big. Oh, the chickens would go crazy.
They're looking a little sheepish.
Here, spread them around.
Hold on.
Wait, there's a few in there.
It'll be all right.
Well, they're just worms.
I know, but they're alive and they're...
Oh, they're dead.
Okay, there's one on the bottom. He's stretched out and creepy. Hold on. Get him out.
Here, I'll get... Oh, I'll get it.
No, it's out.
Okay.
Would you would touch these with your hands?
Yeah, look. Good.
Gross.
I'll wash my hands. They're just bugs.
Okay.
I wouldn't touch a slug, though.
Okay. Now we're going to replace...
These are little worms.
Yeah, they're very small. These are just baby worms. We got some really... These are juniors. Okay. We're going to replace our little moist newspaper lid.
But there's more.
That's it.
What about that box?
The nematodes, that's something else. Those aren't going in here. You put on your lid, and you put your worm factory in a place that keeps a temperature of 40 to 80 degrees. Very important. You can go inside your house. There is absolutely no smell whatsoever. And you even get this really cool compost tea that comes out of the bottom. But I'll keep updated on this. No, you don't drink this tea. You don't add sugar and lemon to it. This is a different kind of tea. But we're going to put this, we're going to leave this outside. If it starts to go above 80 degrees, I will move it inside in a cooler location. So you've got to keep your worms comfortable. Yeah. And that's the key. So
that newspaper will help keep them comfortable too.
Yes, newspaper is very comfortable, especially when it's wet and you're a worm.
It's funny because we really should have put this in the composter. Because they love to look at chicken and biscuits and fries. They're really into that. Really, also they love to get haircuts. Yeah, we should have put this in. Oh, here's some more delicious food ads for the worms. Yeah, they'll love this. Ooh. They'll really be interested in this lovely food. They love to look at food ads. Yeah, I've talked to them before.